having request, the HTTP request response.
No. We will take the container. So container means is a Tamcard. We are developing our application in the Tamcard server, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So servlet container. So these are all servlet applications where is running on the server, any one of the server. We are using Tamcard server. Okay. In Tamcard server that is taking about life. Life means birth to death. So in programmatically initialization to destruction. That is called life cycle of the servlet. In the same way, in Spring Bean, we have created many bean classes, right? Okay, what is the bean? We are creating pojos or bean. Okay, those also will start. When is starting the life? Whenever reading the XML file, right? Whenever XML file is reading at the time of initialization, means whenever activating the Spring container. Okay, so whenever the Spring container is activating, so these 4 phases are there in the Spring Bean lifecycle. First one is instantiation, means object creation, and initialization, ready to use, and destroy. Destroy means the container whenever it's not using for a long time, it's that bean object is removed. Okay, so whenever ready to use, then we can call which method? Get bean method. Okay, context.getBean, we are returning that object, right? So I want to do some customization along with initialization. Okay, along with initialization and before destruction, I want to do some custom methods, my own methods. For example, we are communicating with the database. So database connection should we get there before getting the connection, right? So if whenever the first request is coming from the HTTP request, then that time is getting the connection, then what happened? Or the first request is taking more time, right? So instead of that, at the time of deployment only, or at the time of live starting only, the bean live is starting only, I want to initialize it, like connection, I want to get the connection object, or else if we are using the IO stream to read the stream or file or write the file, the stream is ready, like that we can do it. And after that, our task is completed. The container will close it, right? Bean. So before closing, what should I do? I want to do some closing, database connections and file input stream connection closing. Those things I want to customize. Those things I want to close it. So that's why we can customize along with the Spring Bean lifecycle. So if you do like that, our application is also getting fast and there is no waiting time for the first request and the performance is improving. Okay, this is type of requirement is there. We can use Spring Bean lifecycle approaches. Clear? What is the requirement? What is my requirement? Whenever the Spring container activate, that time I want to open the connection object or open the stream object, IO streams, right, to read and write the file. And before closing my bean object by container, I want to close my connection.close or stream.close. I want to do these custom things along with the Spring Bean lifecycle, so that our application is will become very fast, right? The performance point of view. This is my requirement. For this requirement, how can I implement? And Spring Bean, what are the interfaces are given and what annotations are there? Now we are going to discuss. Here my requirement. For that requirement, how we are implementing the second option. First, you should understand my requirement. The requirement is along with the Spring container, I want to execute some custom methods at the time of initialization and after initialization, before destroying. I want to execute my user-defined methods. Okay, that is my requirement. For that, what is the approaches are there? And among that approaches, which is the best? Now we are going to discuss. Clear? Clear use case and example scenario. Just respond so that we can go for code. Yes, clear, right? Requirement, everyone?
Yes,
everyone. Sir. Yeah, new guys, Chandra, or can you hear me? Respond whenever I'm asking questions. I'm interacting with everyone. It's not a group class. It's a one-to-one session, like. Okay, good. Yeah, Pooja can explain why I'm using this Spring Bean life cycle along with I want to execute the custom approach. When I'm using Yeah, are you following? Pooja, are you mute? Yeah, okay. So everyone understood requirement, right? For this requirement to implement, so Spring Container has given three approaches. So first approach is by implementing the interfaces. Okay, what does interfaces are there? Initializing bean interface and disposable bean interface is there. We can implement this interface and we can override after property set and before destroy method is there. Destroy method is there. But this implementing interface is not a good idea. So better to configure in the XML wise, or we can use annotation wise. That is the best approach. So we are going to the next level here. Okay, so this is the steps here following. I shared this already document to you all, right? So what is that? This life cycle while executing. So first approach is not recommended. We can use second or third. So in second approach, what is your bean is there? Bean ID class, right? There you can add a new attribute. What is the attribute name? Init hyphen method. Okay, init hyphen method. Whenever this bean is loading, life is starting. Along this initialization, our custom OpenStream method will execute. Okay, and the same thing init method, you can instead of that you can use a destroy hyphen method is there. But that is whenever this bean is closing, just before closing, we can call the our custom method, and that custom method is closing the stream about streams reading and writing the file. Okay, like that we can add in the XML file. Or if you want to use annotation in the Spring 2.5 version, they added which annotation? At the rate host constructor means after constructing. And another annotation is at the rate pre-destroy. Pre means before destroying the bean object, we have to do our custom applications. Clear? We can use either XML configuration or we can use annotation approach. So what attribute you are using at XML wise, init hyphen method, destroy hyphen method. Equal to we can give your custom methods, your user defined method. That user defined method automatically execute along with the Spring Bean lifecycle. Clear? Clear? Just respond. Any doubt here?
No, sir. It's clear.
So, along with our Spring Bean lifecycle, our custom method, our user-defined method, we want to execute in XML wise, we can use init hyphen method or destroy hyphen method. Then our user-defined method will execute along with the Spring lifecycle. Clear? I don't want to use this XML configuration. I want to use which one? Annotation approach. So what is the annotation approach? What is the annotation approach I can use? At the rate of post constructor. And another one is at the rate of pre-destroy. Okay, to meet this requirement, I have to give an example. So some of the real-time scenario. So I have a scenario is nothing but Articard is there, right? In a Flipkart or Amazon. So we are adding this card and we are buying those details and we are printing those bill information, right? How many products are taking. Okay, first I am taking the product class. Okay, so in product class, what are the properties are there? Product ID, product name, and price. Okay, these are properties, and after that I am writing which one? Setter getter methods. This bean class is clear. Product bean class, and this product bean class how we are configuring in XML approach and configuring. Okay, see it's visible, right? So first product one. Okay, what is that? Mouse. The product ID 1001 and prices. And the product 2, it's a keyboard. Okay, its a price is 450. And the product ID 1002. Next product 3 say LCD. Okay, it's a product 3 and the price is 3000. Okay, so like that I configured in XML. Clear? Next class I am taking the which one? Shopping cart. Shopping cart like means add to bag in Amazon or Flipkart, right? Add to bag. It's like a shopping cart, and it's this class contains which one? List of products. How many products you want to buy? So we are taking the list of products. Okay, and we are writing setters and getters. And this list shopping cart also one bean, right? And this bean also will configuring the which one XML approach. So this is the bean ID and class is shopping cart. In this one, what is the property is the products. Product is which type? List of custom object. So if it's the list of custom object, how we are configuring a list, we can add inside a rep bean product 1, rep bean product 2, rep bean product 2, right? Like that, we are configuring. It's clear? Shopping cart .java, and this bean is configuring XML file. It's clear, right? Yes or no? And the next one, payment gateway related. Like I take the which class? Cashier class. Okay. So in this cashier class, and this cashier is also one bean class, Spring Bean class. And this class I don't want to configure in XML. So I want to use annotation approach. Then which annotation is there? @ component. And this is the bean ID. And here what are the properties there? File name and file path is there. So file name is the shopping info. And this file path is E drive is taking some Spring info file. Okay. There is creating the one folder in E drive and generating on the bill list. Okay, how it's generating? I'm using the to write the all the bill information in the one text file. I'm using the which class? Printer writer class. Okay, and this printer writer class, when I want to create an object at the time of initialization. At the time of initialization, how can you write? Either you can use XML, any type of method. So otherwise, we can use annotation approach. What is annotation? @ post construct is there. Are you following? @ post construct. So OpenStream method is automatically executing whenever Spring Bean lifecycle is start. When this cashier bean is live start, automatically this which one constructor is executed. @ post construct. See this description. The post construct annotation is used to be a method that needs to be executed after dependency injection is done to the perform any initialization activities. Correct? So my requirement is also at the time of starting this bean lifecycle, I want to execute this OpenStream method. And I'm creating the print stream object. I'm giving this location, E drive, Spring info, and file name. Okay, now the stream is done. And if any exception, while creating any exception occurred, I'm handling, right? This is a IOD exception I'm handling here. And this is whenever it's executing, I want to give some notification in the messages. Okay, so and I want to see this console when this executed. Okay, so that we can give some message. What is that? Init method. Init hyphen method is executed. A log monitoring purpose, I am giving this message. Clear? So open construct. And after that, I call this some business logic like calculate total price. So we are buying 3 products, right? Mouse, LCD, okay, and keyboard. That all the price available, where is available in shopping cart object is there. Okay, so we are calling cart.get products. It's written the list of the products. From list of products, we are iterating by using for each loop. Everyone know, right? This for each loop syntax. So we are getting the list of products. From that, each product we are taking, and each product getting the price and adding to total price. Okay, and this total price details where you are displaying in the text file. So for that, I am writing the which method? Write product file. Okay, so this is one. So here printer writer, println, we are writing the date. What date you are purchasing this product name and product price. This information I am displaying. Okay, like that each product information is displaying here. And after that, printer writer. So this printer writer is not printing in the console. I'm not using system.out.println, right? So printer writer is printing that given location. I given the E drive in my system, right? There is a printing this all the information. And total price completed, the each product information and price is completed, and printing the total information. And flush it means refreshing the string. Okay, done. This is our requirement, and our stream is done and writing in the one text file all the bill information, and our task is done, right? And next one, what should I do? We can close the stream. So we can close when before closing our Spring Bean, right? So here also we can testing purpose we can give some message here. Okay, so where is executing and all the things. Okay, And I'm using here @value. @value annotation is to simply simple data type value injecting here. Okay. And here which method is destroy. Destroy hyphen method is executed. Okay. And here what I'm doing, I'm closing the print writer. Understood? So these are the beans and this is the business logic. And in the bean.xml, I commented which one, cashier bean, because I'm using which approach, annotation approach. If you don't want to use annotation approach, we can uncomment this one. Okay. And here is a cashier class, which is the init method, open string. And what is the destroy method, close string. Like that, we can configure XML. But I am using which one, annotation approach. Then we can use pre-destroy method. What is the method? Close string. And open string method is what? Post construct method. Clear? The use case. And next one, we have to test this application, right? So testing purpose, I written main method. I'm reading the which one? XML file. Okay. And XML file, what are the beans are there? List of the bean, right? Which one? Shopping cart and products. Those details I'm getting from XML file. So that purpose I'm using class path XML application context and get the shopping cart object. Okay, then next one, annotations I'm using, right, for cashier. For that, again, we need to create an object for annotation config application context, and I'm giving the base file scanning and refresh it. And after that, we are calling the which one? Cashier object. And once you got the cashier object, we are calling the which method? Calculate total price method we are calling, but we are not calling open stream method. We are not calling close stream method. So those methods we are informing to the Spring container. They are executing at the time of life cycle start and the end, right? So all methods are when is executed whenever you invoking, right? But this, observe here, I'm not invoking open stream method and the close stream method. So those are configuring with us pre-constructor and post destroy. So post constructor, pre-destroy, these two annotation. Or else you want to use XML annotation, you can use here. This bean, cashier bean class is contain the two method, open stream method and a close stream method. These are executing with the init method time and the destroy method time. Clear? This is XML approach. And annotation approach, we can use post construct. We can execute this method. And before destroying, pre-destroy annotation is there, and this method will execute. Clear? And we can test here in E drive. So E drive, what is the Spring info I given here? Something Spring is not there, right? Here is I created. So I need to execute here. So just here the folder is not there now. So what is our file name in E drive? Go to cashier. What is the file path is reading at the time of open stream? File path and file name. What is the file path? This is E drive and the Spring info. Okay, this folder should exist. In E drive, I am creating this one. Okay, and new folder. Okay. I just now created the empty folder. In this folder, what is doing? That a file is creating with this Spring info and the bill is generating. Okay. Test our application with which one? With this application run as Java. So in this application, I use the two XML as well as annotation. See here, init method is executed, but destroy method is not executed. Means the destroy is when is destroying, whenever you're not using for long time, that is executing. See, open stream is executed and all the build details go to this E drive location. Okay, and what is the Spring info? And here is the text file is Spring info text file is created, right? And open with Notepad++. So this is the build layer. Today date and what is the mouse price is 300 and keyboard same today date, and this is, and the LCD, this total price is this. This is all the bill information you are writing on the where in the text file. Here, this is shopping info.txt. Understood the requirement? and we are implementing init method and destroy-hyphen method in the XML wise as well as annotation wise. Any doubt here? If any doubt, tell me, then I will explain in another.
Sir, could you explain this flow in grammatically? Yes, sir. Graphically.
Means diagrammatically.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, so still the bean object is using only. It's not executed destroy method. So if you think like a real-time application, so like add to bag is there, right? Okay. So first, what you are writing? First, what is the bean you are writing? So what is the bean you are writing? Class is a product of bean you are writing, right? In product bean contains what is the information? ID, product ID, and product name and price. These details are there. Okay. And next, what is the next bean I am taking here? What is the next bean? So we can I take here shopping cart. Instead of that, you can you would add to bag. Okay, you can shopping bag or shopping cart. You can use any name. Okay, shopping cart. Okay, in this shopping cart, what is the dependency is there?
Product.
Product. What? Which product? Is a list of products. So multiple products are there, right? List of products. So not single product. It's a list of products. And product contains again ID and name. This information is clear. 2 beans. Next, what is that? And these all products I am purchasing. Okay. Yes or no? I am purchasing 3 products. So I configured and 3 products purchasing. And I need to calculate all the product, right? So which is required in real time. We call it as a payment gateway, right? Payment. So for this class, what I use the class to cashier class I use here. Okay. Class cashier. Okay. So what I use the name, same name I'm using it. So I use it cashier class. So cashier. In this cashier, what are the dependencies are there? What are the dependencies? See here. First, dependencies. These are annotated. I am not configuring the XML file, right? So here, total price and file name and a file path. This is the simplified, simple dependencies are there. And here, and another one is a printer writer is there. And printer writer also we are writing setter method here. Printer writer object is creating, right? So when is object is creating? When is object is creating along with a life cycle, right? So here is you are getting some confusion, right? In this, what is the dependencies are there? What is required here? Total price is required. So we are calculating the total price. And what is that? And this all the bill information I want to store in the some location in my system. Okay, I want build this in the one text file. Okay, for that I'm taking the file name. Okay, file name. And another one is location, file path. Okay, this is a dependency. And along with this, what I am to write the one data in the text file, which class I am using? Print writer I am using. Print writer. Yeah, print writer I am using. And here, this is the properties. What are the cashier class which is required? So total price is required, and this all the bill information I want to store in some location in my system. So that file name, file path I am taking, and to write this data information, product information, bill information on this given location. So which class is required? Print writer class is required. So this print class I define. And when should I create this print writer object? Along with the bean lifecycle. So which annotation is there? At the rate post construct. Post construct. Here, what I am doing? What is my method I am writing here? Public and return type is nothing, void, and I want to open my stream object. Okay, so it's open stream, and I'm creating the object here, right? So creating object for which class? Print writer. Clear? And after is writing a print class, then what should I do? We have to calculate the total price, right? We have to calculate total price. So total price and all the calculator information where is available? Where is available? in shopping cart. All the product information is available where? In product class, right?
Yes.
So shopping cart contain list of products. So that's the reason. After string calculating the total price. To calculate the total price, which object is required? Shopping cart object is required. Correct? Is required shopping cart object. The shopping cart object is contain the what? List of products. How can I get it? By calling the get products method is there. Get products is written what? List of products. Okay, once you got the list of product, what should I do? Each product we have to read it and find the sum, correct? Sum is that purpose. Which approach I am using? For each method I am using. You can use normal for loop also, but for each loop is easy, right? So this is syntax is list of the product, then colon, then left side you can give the type of the object, yeah, product. Once you got the each product details, we are calculating total price plus product dot get price is summing to here. And this all the product information I want to write in a text file, right? So I'm calling which method? Write to product file. Write product details to file. So here the product will come and the details. What we see in this one, right? Notepad plus space. So today date and product name and price. These details we are printing in this method. Print to product to file method. I'm printing this. Print to writer dot println new date. Means today date will print and save space and product name, product price, right? So this is a way is printing. Clear? Each product iteration. This iteration will execute. How many products are there? 3 times. Then 3 times this method will execute. And once the loop is completed, your loop is completed here, right? Line number 40. After that, we are giving this line, horizontal line, right? So the same thing is printed here. This is horizontal. Correct? This line is printed after for loop is ended. The next one, what I'm doing, I'm printing the total price. So what is the total price? This is the total price, 3750, correct? If you sum this one, we'll get the same price, correct? This is the line for the line number 46. After that, flush it. Means flush is what is the automatically refresh it. Clear?
Yes.
So this is the logic. In this approach, I use the annotation as well as XML. Both approaches I am using here. Let's try the singleton in the framework route level, but it still is in use. Still it is used, so that's the reason it's not executed dest-hyphen method. Okay. Yeah. Next, come back to the test method. In test method, we have 2 scenarios are there, right? So is clear about the cashier class? So here, this product and shopping cart. This is configured in the which one? Products. Okay, product being. Okay, product being and shopping cart. Shopping cart. These are I configured way through XML file. These are XML file, correct? And the cashier classes. Cashier classes we are using annotation approach at the rate of component annotation. Okay. So we need to inform to the container, right? String container. So which container I am using? Application context container, right? So we have this is a business beans are there. Our business classes are there. So we call it as the bean classes and along with our business method, correct? And this business method I want to execute. How we are informing to container? We should create a object for container implementation class, right? To read the XML file, we are using class path XML application context, right? Class path XML application context is reading the XML configuration details like bean details and the shopping cart details. Next, I want to read the cashier details, right? So how we are injecting cashier data informing. So as per the dependency injection, we never ever create an object, right? We never creating the object with a new keyword and constructor. What we are doing, just we are defining constructor, string constructor, have these beans are there. Just you can inject at whenever activating the string container. What we are the dependency injection is phase. You don't create your object, just you describe it. What properties you want to initialize, what object you want to create, just you have to give the description through XML file or through annotation approach. So that the string container can create, correct? So I use the 2 approaches here. So this is for informing through XML file. So for that, I use the which class? Class for XML application context, and I am giving the location, and I am getting the shopping cart details. Next, what about cashier class? I didn't configure in the XML file. So I used the which approach? Annotation. Then this annotation approach also, my bean is there, and this bean I'm using annotation approach. Again, we need to inform to container file. For to read this information, annotation information, what is the class we have to use? Annotation config application context we have to use it. This is the way to you're conveying a string container. Like in JVM, how you are conveying your methods you are executing? Tell me, anyone? So your user-defined methods to execution, how you are conveying to JVM? How you are conveying in core Java? Through main method, right? So in main method, you are creating the object, you are calling those methods, then the methods will execute. Correct? Same way, we are informing to the container. So to inform the string container, we need to activate these containers. Correct? We need to activate these containers and informing so that our bean lifecycle will start. Once we got these objects, then we can call the which method? Calculate method, right? Once we got the cashier object, we are calling the calculator total price. And close the our context object. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone. If you still anybody doubt, tell me. I will explain in another way. Still you have doubt. Everyone clear? Then I will share this code. So to execute this program, which is required, first we have to take the product class. Okay. So I'm sharing. So you know how to write setters and getters, right? Only first you have to take this product class. Okay, I'm sharing in the group. Just copy. Okay, clear? Next one, which is required? Shopping cart object. So shopping cart just only one property. Then later you can write setters and getters. Here, we can copy these things. And you have already jars, right? Next, after shopping cart, which is required? Cashier class, right? Cashier key. And this we can take annotation approach. So we can using, these are the properties. Okay, you can copy. After properties, this is how we are injecting. So we can take post constructor and calculate method. Okay, so after you can copy. And after that, write the details and setter methods for file name. And before executing this file, you should give a location. That folder should exist. E drive, I given the E drive and Spring info, right? That folder should exist. Otherwise, I will get an exception. Okay? You can copy fast and you can execute in any one of the system. After that, best time. Okay, we can copy this entire.
సార్
Yeah, tell me.
ఈ క్యాషియర్ క్లాస్ ఇంకొకసారి చెప్పరా నాకు ఆడియో గ్లిచ్ బఫరింగ్ అయింది మీరు పవర్ వెళ్ళక. శివరాజ్.
Yeah. Okay. So first, copy this only code.
Yeah.
First, copy this only code, source code. Everyone is done copying the code. And you will get one exception. Listen carefully here. And whenever you're executing in your system, this folder should exist. This one. This folder should exist in your E drive or D drive in your system. What is the location is there? You can that location should exist. Otherwise, we'll get an exception. Okay.
Copied.
So copy is done.
Yes, sir.
So here main class is what is the dependencies are there here? Cashier class is there. So what is that? Total price and file name and file path. This is the properties, and another one is a print writer. Okay. So then after that, this file path, file name we are giving. What is that? Setter methods. So this is the way we are doing setter approach, right? File path and file name. And this is done after that. The main business is what? Calculating the total price and open stream and close stream. Okay, open stream and close stream. This I'm writing at the top level. This is the open stream. And this is a closed. Okay. So now in cashier class, these are the properties. Whatever you require, I take the simple properties and I return the setter methods. Next one, post construct. It's nothing but an init method, right? So at the time of starting our Spring Bean life cycle, what I'm doing, I'm creating the object for print writer class. Okay. And if any exception occur, I'm handling this with the catch block. Next one, before destroying, pre-destroy. Before destroying, what I'm doing, I'm closing the printer writer connection, the stream connection, right? I'm closing. If it is not done, I'm closing here. Done. And next, what is required? This main business logic, calculator. So calculating the total price. So total price where is available on the product information in shopping cart object is there. Are you following? Are you following, everyone? So this we are passing this shopping cart object. So shopping cart object contain this all the list of the products and taking the each product, iterating by using for each loop and displaying those details by the right product to file method and summing the total points, total price, and displaying whatever you writing the print writer that println method. This information is writing on the text file, not on the console. Okay. So this is the text file is written this data. Clear? Like that is executing one by one. And for testing application, we have written two scenarios: annotation scenario and exception scenarios. Right? To read the exception configuration, I'm using the class path XML context, and the annotation we are using cashier object. We are informing the container, Spring container, right? So by using annotation config application context. Clear? And we are calling the which method? Calculate total price. To calculate total price is to invoke which object is required? Cashier object. So how I am getting get bin of cashier. Then it's written the cashier object. Correct? And shopping, we need to pass the shopping cart, right? And shopping cart object already got from this class path application context. And that object you have passed into this calculator method, and calculate method is available in cashier. And so this way is executing our custom logic. And once you execute it and displaying this only this message, and the rest of this details is writing where in a given location. What is the location I am given here? What is the location here? E drive, Spring info, and we can write some product build details. We can give some name also. Building. Okay, build info. Okay, so we should exist at this location. And this text file is not there also, no problem. It's creating the new file. Okay, now I'm giving the new things, right? Build info I give it. Now this build info.txt file is creating and right there here. Okay, so once again I'm executing a file and it's created the new file here. Okay, check, go and check this location. So it's created, right? Just now, 7:55, our system time, correct? The folder should exist. The file is not there, no problem. It's creating. It's generating, right? Billinfo.txt file is writing the details. Now everyone clear this one? And you should execute today this application in your system. And if you are getting any issue, we can discuss tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
And everyone copied this code. And you want XML configuration? Because everyone know this XML, right? List of configuration, how to configure. And this already is there, this XSD. You want XML file also, I will share you. So first I'm sharing the XSD. We will configure XML file configuration. Copy. Okay. And next one, list of the products. Three products details. Product main IDs. Okay, three products details. The next one, shopping cart bean object. This is okay. This is XML configuration. Then copy it and execute everywhere. It was system. Yeah, Pooja, can you explain how it's working now? You are understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the beans are there? I written in the paint. So based on this, just explain. So listen carefully once again, right?
So here we are doing some online e-card application wherein we have a bean called product and we have a properties like ID, name and price, and then we are going to have the list of products in the shopping cart, like whatever we add in the cart, it will go and add in the shopping cart. Okay, and also we have a payment gateway called Cashier, where we actually calculate the total price, and also we copied whatever the things we add in the shopping cart. It is going to add in the text file which we have given in the print writer. Okay, coming
Given
to the
location,
activity,
yeah.
what we are actually doing is that so along while the Spring container is loading its bean, it will also call this this respective method which we annotate with post constructor. It will automatically call that particular method. We ideally, what we do in JVM, we go to main method and write the particular method what we actually want to call. But here, along with the loading of the bean, we are going
Bean
to
life
call
cycle. Along with bean life cycle.
along with bean life cycle. Correct. This particular method which we annotate with post constructor is going to execute. Okay, then after in this what we do here, we are calculating the total in the open stream method, right? We just calculated what all products we have, and we have printed that in the text file what we have.
Calculator is just use a different method.
Okay.
And we are writing the complete logic. And to
Yes.
calculate the total product price, we require which object? Shopping cart object is required. So that's why we are passing the shopping cart object to this method. Okay, and each product details we are iterating by using for each loop, and summing the total points and writing into this and one text file. Okay.
Yes.
So then it's right. And how we are testing this application once you've done all the bins, to read the XML file, transport XML application context. Next annotation, I'm using the cashier bean is which one? Annotation approach. So annotation approach which we are activating. So annotation config application context. Through this, the Spring container know it about our beans, and then only we get the object message when you're calling the get bean. Then it's got the shopping cart object, and then it's got the cashier object. Then we are calling which method? Our calculator total price method. So that logic will execute and write the details into one text file. And this is the output we can see in the text file. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. But actually, I have a doubt here.
Yes, tell me.
Okay, so ideally, what we are keeping in pre-destroy, we are trying to close the resources which we
Correct.
have opened, right?
Correct.
So in real time also, are we just trying to close the resources or are we doing some other tasks too?
No, we should close it because these database operations and the file stream operations are very costly operations with respect to performance.
Yes, that is
Okay.
what I'm asking. Are we just closing the resources in the pre-destroy or are we doing some other operations apart from closing the resources?
So because this is a one cycle is done. For example, one user is came and the user is doing. And if for example 10 users are there, 10 users are doing R2 bag and they are paying. So 10 times the object is created, right? The 10 objects are still alive. Then what happens if the 11th user will come? That 11th user there is no connections objects. Whether the database connection or stream objects, it's not available. So, right, we should close it once your task is done in application wise. Otherwise, the connection is still alive. And if the more requests are coming, for example, Thanksgiving Day is there, Dasara or which one Sankranti offers are there. That the case is multiple users is coming to our website, right? Yes, sir. At a time, the thousands of people are making the request and add to bag, and they are doing the which one? What they are doing? What is the payment gateway and add to card and the proceed to payment. That's at a time how we can imagine how many requests are coming. Only one at a time. Here are many.
Many.
So many things it is coming, and each request is forming, and this logic will execute for each user, and each user is a connection is open. What happened? The connection pool is full. So that is the reason we need to close immediately once the user task is done, one request is ended. And in real time, they are using some connection pool mechanism and they are increasing the number of nodes, data centers, okay, to this time whenever getting the max request, this will take care by DevOps team in the real time. Whenever getting, for example, they are configuring the configuration file, DevOps request, one file is there, DevOps they are taking. So whenever the requests are coming, the reach the 1,000 requests at the same time, given time, then automatically one more instance is created and one more data center is created automatically. The boost of the spin of the servers at the cloud level. So that is the way we are giving the services to the n number of people. Whenever giving this offer time or whether Deepavali time, right? Whenever.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, so how different it is closing the resources in the finally block or here?
Here is that we need to write, but our concept along with the life cycle we have to do it. So what you are telling is right. So once your task is done, that logic where you can write in a calculate method we can write. That logic we can write in a calculate method. Once it's done, we are printing all this and flush it, and we can close the printer writer data. Close. Before closing, what you are checking? None. But I want to execute it along with our lifecycle methods to meet our this topic, right?
Okay.
What is our topic?
This is just an example. What
example.
Okay.
But in a real time, where you are is done, you are the displaying the all the product information you are printing. The task is done, right? Then you can close it.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can close the printer writer close. Or if you are using the database connection, you can close that one. But our topic is what? Along with the lifecycle methods, I want to execute my user-defined method, my custom methods.
Thank you, sir.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
I need
Yes, sir.
from everyone. Are you able to execute in your system this code? I should complete code. Okay. Are you able to execute, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you show me the jars which you are set?
Same jars. Last time, Shivaraj already attended, right? Previous. So what are the 6 jars are there, right? The same 6 jars only, not extra jars. So what are that? You know already this. Commons login, Spring
Okay.
ASM, Spring Bean, Spring Context, Spring Core. All you can take this 3.0.3. And only common slagging is 1.2.
Okay, sir.
If you want to take a screenshot, you can take. Already this you already taken, right? The previous session. It's visible now. Shown better. You
Yes.
can you can take screenshot. You know, right, how to take screenshot. The
Yes, sir.
snipping tool is there. You can take and download from Maven repository. If you don't have these jars, you can download. Already many examples we are executed.
I have, sir.
Everyone, if you are joining newly today, so download the jars from Maven repository website. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Everyone. If no questions, we can wind up the session. Okay, then I will check in everyone's system. This program should execute in our all system. The remember thing is, in your system, this file should exist. Whatever giving the path here, right? File path, this file should exist. E colon, or in your system, maybe E drive is not there, right? You can use a D colon. And this folder you can create. Manually you can create. And this bill info, no need to create. Automatically create by printer class. Only the folder should exist. This path should exist. This this file is no need to create. Automatically generate. Clear? This is a remember point. And the jars are same jars, whatever using previous 6 jars. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, Vamshi is clear? Vamshi Kumar. Spring Bean life cycle and how it's working and use case example.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you should execute it today. Okay, you can take help with Srinivas or Pooja or Mubashir is there, Shivraj. Okay, you can take help if you have anything. Okay, Chandu, you are understood? Respond, yeah, when I'm asking. With at least chat box.
Yes, sir.
Clear, right?
Clear, sir.
I'm asking to Chandu. Chandu name.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are able to execute, right? This example.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? If no question, we can wind up the session. We can continue tomorrow. Okay, fine.